Thank you all very much for showing up today for this special occasion, 50 years in the making.
All right, at this time, myself and rest of the board would like to honor Mark and Scott as our newest life members.
You look like a bunch of highlighters. Sorry. Cheese.
Wow. I just want to start out by saying thank you again to everybody that's here. We started out as the Whoppy Railroad. Whoppy is Western Antique Powerland Incorporated. It was 600 feet of track up there in the dirt. When it continued to grow, we realized the 600 feet of track was not going to handle things. It turned into 1,500 feet, 2 loops with 2 crossovers. We needed trees. So my father had one of these willow trees in his backyard. And those of you that know willow trees are like a weed, except for when you plant them here. He had one grow that tall in 2 years, so he thought, well, this would be great. I'm going to put them in a bucket of water, I'm going to get roots, I'm going to take it down there, we're going to plant a bunch of trees, and all of a sudden we'll have shade in 3 years. Well, it took 20 years. So then we became an official organization in 1995 with the state, and we needed a name. And we had willow trees and we had a creek. So it was decided to become Willow Creek Railroad. When we decided we needed to build this railroad in about 1997, the planning started. And the gentleman that designed this railroad, Louis Latier, was only here one time. Unfortunately, he passed away from Agent Orange before one piece of rail or tie was on the ground. So it's gone from 2 guys to 6 guys to 12 guys to 90 people. And I'm happy to say that 60 of them are active on a regular basis. 5 different states, 2 different countries. Pretty impressive. Thank you. This is one of our original junior members.
Oh, we did that too. Hello, everyone. I am so grateful to have been one of the current generation of Willow Creek kids who grew up here. I started coming with my family, my parents, in like 2002. Is that right? Because my sister was in diapers, is how the story always goes. The kitchen was the sticker fridge, which you can now see the front of hanging up on display by the fire pit, and an old sink with a broken mirror that never really showed your whole reflection, but it didn't matter because you were train camping. And train camping meant that you ran around barefoot, maybe or maybe not with like a shirt on because you're running through the sprinklers right here. And it seems to me that the fire and food is always something that is the hub of the park, right? The trains run on steam and fuel and wood, and so do we. We run on hot air in the form of laughter or frustration, but usually the former. And also people gathering around in community and sharing plates and having potlucks. And we're so glad that we are getting to commune together with food again.
Please stay seated until the train comes to a complete stop and the station master indicates it is safe to leave.